IVM.
Hi, I'm Zarina Poonawalla, your peak performance coach, life coach, emotional intelligence practitioner, and NLP practitioner. I'm also the founder of Abzo Expertise Unique, and my organization constantly aims at building leaders across continents. After having worked with so many dynamic business honchos, entrepreneurs, startups, CEOs, management gurus, parents, and student communities worldwide, I am convinced that every individual has unleashed potential, and all we really need to do is realize it. Watch the magic unfold, enhance quality of life, relationships, and professions. On my show, be ready for some riveting conversations with inspirational people, snippets, stories, and much more. So here I am on this exceptional journey to find empowerment and inspiration anywhere I can. Come join me on this breathtaking path of self-realization, potential maximization, positivity, and most of all, embrace your inner power. You are on your way to empowering yourselves. Welcome to the Empowering Series with Zarina Poonawalla. Why do we hide our emotions? What stops us from expressing our innermost feelings, at times even to our loved ones? Why do we often regret how we behaved in a moment? Why do we find ourselves so easily embarrassed by people who mean so little to our existence? What makes us so defensive of our honor? The word that instantly describes these thoughts and feelings comes from a beautiful part of our emotions. The word we're talking about today is vulnerability. By definition, vulnerability is that feeling of being exposed or harmed either physically or emotionally. It is a defense mechanism to put on your brave face and protect yourself from people hurting your feelings or making you feel weak. We have been trained to believe vulnerability makes us weak. And undoubtedly, there are moments where it does create a havoc in our lives. However, if you truly knew how to embrace your vulnerabilities, what do you think would happen? Take a moment and think about it. Embracing your vulnerabilities can be an extremely liberating experience. And if you wish to be liberated from that prison you've locked yourself inside, here's how to do it. People are going to judge you. Yes, they are. And we know that. I know it's hideous, but that's the truth. And that's the so-called society that we live in. It's also the society that we have formed ourselves, by the way. And no matter how hard you try to please people, they're always going to talk about you, if not to your face, behind your back. And here's the thing, you cannot possibly please everyone on the planet, even if you tried your best. So stop trying to be a people's pleaser and start focusing on pleasing yourself instead. Ignore people who have passed comments or do pass comments on your appearance, your financial status, your marital status. That's their job, and a job that doesn't even pay them. However, they like doing it, allow them. In a world full of fit-ins, step out. And as the millennials say, you do you. Learn the art of accepting your weaknesses and probably working on them with self-help books, a coach, or a therapist. Just work your way up. The moment you accept your weaknesses, you will shed that defense mechanism your body has created. And believe you me, people will accept your being, whether you like it, whether you don't, whether they like it, whether they don't. So just be who you are and be all of it. Do not look for validation. We all love being appreciated. We all love being validated. But you did good. You do good. And keep treading along that path that you've chosen for yourself. Do not wait for family, friends, co-workers, or bosses to appreciate your efforts. Because when you do that, you've already left your fate in their hands. Not everyone notices, and if they do, they often take you for granted. Haven't we all gone through that? So instead of feeling that need for validation, make yourself happy. Do what feels right at the core of your soul and keep moving forward. You will find your truest capabilities even in your vulnerabilities. Don't be shy to express how you feel. Haven't we all been caught in a crowd being vulnerable? Maybe a quick tear or a fit of rage. As long as it doesn't have repercussions, do not go around saying sorry. Do not apologize for feeling something and expressing it. In fact, even in your relationships, do not say sorry at the drop of a hat. Just trying to make things right, being sorry and moving on. No. Instead, just say sorry when you have wronged, when you truly are sorry. Otherwise, you sound like you have a victim mentality. You kind of spiral down into self-pity. Do not use the word sorry loosely in your language. It takes away from the very word. It also takes away from your self-esteem and self-value. Talk to someone about your vulnerabilities. A friend, a mentor, a coach. Find yourself someone to share with and normalize that feeling instead of running away from it. In your relationships, be open about your vulnerabilities. Let your partner know what makes you vulnerable. Also, no harm in asking for help. Let your partner have the liberty to tell you when you seem vulnerable. And what do you do then? You take a moment and tell yourself, I accept who I am and I embrace my vulnerabilities. Lastly, the world is not out to get you. That is a myth. Each one has their own journey and they're dealing with their own vulnerabilities here. So cut yourself some slack. Let go of that invisible shield you are carrying. The battle to be won is not with people. The battle you need to win is the one inside you. Love yourself, surprise yourself, and embrace yourself from your core. You will rise like a phoenix. Be safe, be well, be vulnerable, and be empowered.
If you liked this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on our social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter and Instagram.
I hope you enjoyed that show. We'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Paytm Money. If you aren't following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Guys, it's been a really, really cool week. We've had a ton of interesting stuff come out. We had an episode with Kunal Shah on Cyrus Says. We've had really stellar episodes on Pesa Vesa, Advertising is Dead, Filter Coffee Podcast, on Empowering Series, all over the place. Definitely do check it out. I'm sure you'll enjoy what's been going on this week. And thanks for listening, and we hope to catch you again next week.
Do you have a night routine? Well, everyone has one. And the to-do list usually looks like this. Brush your teeth, set that alarm, get into your pajamas, and switch off those screens. But here's one more to add to that list. Tune into the Positively Unlimited podcast for a dose of positive action and tips on how to build powerful mindsets. Episodes out every Monday on the IVM Podcast app, ivmpodcast.com, or wherever you tune into podcasts.